Hey everybody, welcome back to Creating Scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today I'm going to give another channel update. Just I'm doing my November planning and I want to get the videos out that you guys want to see. So first, I do read comments and I strongly listen to requests for topics that you guys are interested in. And so I think for the month of November, the biggest topic that people are interested in learning how to do, and that is what you see on the screen right now, and that is parallax occlusion. All right. So that's not what this video is about, but it's just one of the topics that I'm going to try to cover in the month of November for sure. A lot of things about parallax, setting it up in Blender can be very daunting. All right. It's very math and geometry intrinsic. Is that the word I'm looking for? I usually invent my own words every once in a while. But I am in the process of teaching myself, learning it as much as I can, because it's going to be extremely useful. I mean, it has in the past. There's a lot of developers out there that do parallax, but a lot of people don't know that much about it. So anyway, I am in the process of learning more about it as well. I know parallax, okay, in my remote sensing work, using aerial photography and all in satellite imagery and stuff. You know, I know the parallax in that, but setting it up in Blender and getting that down, okay, there's some things that I need to learn myself, but I need to learn it in order to teach it, okay? So there's tons of videos on doing parallax in Blender, but getting it into Microsoft Flight Simulator is another animal in itself. Okay, and I know how to do it. It's just that I want to make it easier to understand. All right, so that's what I'm trying to work out on, how to present doing parallax. All right. In a nutshell, parallax is you are mapping coordinates of an image based on observational angle. In a nutshell, that's what parallax is. Okay, and so, like in this example, we have a two-dimensional plane. All right, but the way that the nodes set up in Blender and how the camera view on that object dictates when pixels show up. So as you pan across a flat image, it looks like a three-dimensional space, okay? And then bringing that into the sim and putting that behind windows of your buildings and stuff gives you the three-dimensional look inside the building without having to model the inside of the building. All right. So a lot of us like to make three-dimensional models of building interiors for like terminals and things like that. But there might be some buildings you don't want to do the inside, but you want, as an airplane is taxiing by a building, you may want, you know, the appearance of interiors. All right. So anyway, we have parallax coming up in the month of November, I hope. The other things that I've been working on, obviously, is my own stuff. Right now, I am back to John Glenn International Airport in Columbus, Ohio, and I am adding more features to that airport. This is Google Earth. I have all the terminals. I have the Lane Aviation Complex. This is Google Earth, not my model, but I also have the tower, and there's actually a new car rental place, garage sitting right here that I have in there. I'm working on the hotels that are in this space as well. And if you guys know from the scenery, if we come down here to this historic corner of the airport, this is the original terminal for Columbus Airport. It wasn't John Glenn at that time. This was back in 1929 when the original terminal was built. But anyway, for those that don't know this airport, I have developed this corner as the historical part of the airport. This right here is the first terminal. This is Hangar 1 that was built in 1929, and the original terminal that was built in 1929. They still exist, and they are in the process of being restored. Okay, so I do have those. I do have this area, and I have this as a historical part. So I have I have a Ford Tri-Motor airplane sitting there, and I have old vintage cars of that time. During World War II, this was also a Army air base at that time, and so I'm working on some additions to that as well. So if you're flying one of the DC-6s, PMG-DG's DC-6, you can fly in, and instead of going over to the modern terminal, you can taxi down here and park in something that's more era related. Okay, so I'm doing some work there, but currently I'm working on the Geodis Logistics, American Signature, and Republic Airways building. This gigantic building here. I'm modeling that as we speak. Okay, so I'm getting that in there. What else am I doing? Well, what else am I doing? I am installing new software, updating some of my software, and also here is a note about software. I get a lot of comments about certain procedures that aren't working in a couple of last videos for some people, and it's related to the Asobo exporter. I notice that when I get screenshots from people on errors that they're getting, that I'm noticing that many of the users are using Blender 3.2 or 3.3, and the Asobo exporter has not been ironed out for versions above 3.1. Okay, so you can run more than one version of Blender at a time. You can have multiple versions installed on your machine. So I have 3.1, and I have 3.2, I have 3.1, and I have a couple earlier versions too. But 3.1 is stable for using with the Asobo exporter. So if you're getting a lot of errors in the export process, make sure you check your version of Blender, because it is 3.2, 3.2 and above. They're having some issues with the Asobo exporter, and just like any other technology YouTube channel or whatever, just know that it could be fixed by the time this video is done recording. Okay, so if you're using a later version of Blender and a newer version of Blender, and you're not having those issues, please leave a comment and let us know what your experiences is with that. The other software that I've updated is my Krita. I am now using Krita 5.1.1, and it's the Photoshop clone that I use for doing a lot of my textures and stuff. Like right now, I'm getting my video series for Parallax, and I'm getting this photo ready to make a three-dimensional room out of this photo. Okay, but the new version of Krita is every time they come out with a version, it gets better and better and better. The architecture behind the software, or of the software, is better, so it's more efficient in running now. But there are new tools that you're going to find useful when you're doing your textures and stuff. I love the expansive fill. Okay, it's kind of a neat thing. I don't see a great use for it, but like I can make a lasso around this particular shape, and it will automatically color in any objects that are in that area. But anyway, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a color book type of thing, but you can use that to create masks to extract things out of a photo to bring into Blender to use for modeling and stuff like that. So anyway, there's a new version of Krita 5.1.1 that you'll probably want to update your systems now, and all your old stuff still works with it, so there's nothing wrong with that. So just an update to let you know, coming in November, we're going to be talking about Parallax, and we have some other topics that you guys are requesting that I'm putting on the books and trying to get those ready. So anyway, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for upcoming videos. Oh, I also want to, it's not a commercial, but it is a commercial. I want you guys to know that I have a Gumroad, myphysicalworld.gumroad.com. Obviously, I have maps. I'm a cartographer, and I make maps and stuff like that. I do sell them, but I just want to let you guys know that I am going to start putting together Blender libraries of objects that you can use in your airports. And I'm doing it in a certain fashion so we don't have to worry about I'm going to put them up on my Gumroad, and they are going to be free. Obviously I'll ask for donation if you'd want to, but I'm going to start putting some model libraries up on this Gumroad page here that you'll be able to download the actual Blender project for those objects. That way, there's a lot of people out there that are putting objects on flightsim.to, but the only problem is that I see with that is that you have to have that object library in your community folder in order to use those. Well, people's community folders get filled up with a lot of other stuff, so I want to make those Blender files available to you so you can create your own objects and put them actually into your scenery files. All right, I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. So you'd have to, put them in your XML folders and all that kind of stuff, and create their own GUIDs, but they're native to your scene, so you don't have to have my libraries in order to use them. You'll be able to bring those in. I hope you understand that. But I am going to start putting those up on my Gumroad in the future. So hopefully that will help you out. But yes, I am a cartographer and I produce maps of different kinds, and I do sell them. These are all PDF formats, and you can print them out or you can use them digitally for any of your work. I treat them as art. If you want to put them on, if you go to a printing service and they have a large format printer, you can print these out and then you can frame them, put them on your wall or whatever you want. But I know us map makers are a dying breed in terms of paper maps. Nobody wants paper maps for location stuff, but I do it as art, and I try to do things that most cartographers don't do. I'm proud of my Sinai Peninsula map because this is the first Sinai Peninsula map that has been produced in 75 years. That is the entire peninsula in one map. Okay. Anyway, I don't believe you'll ever find a map like this. I'm just tooting my own horn there. But anyway, check out my Gumroad page and subscribe to the Gumroad page because I'm going to be putting up scenery objects that you can use, no licensing involved or anything. So anyway, those are the things that are coming up in the future for this channel and my Gumroad page and things like that. I appreciate every one of you guys that have subscribed to this channel, and I look forward and I want to give you guys resources as free as possible. And I thank you for coming here, and hopefully next week I'll have enough information that I can start doing the first Parallax video for you guys. So in the meantime, get on your projects. I can't wait to download your projects and put them on the flight sim and see what you guys do. Hey, you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will see you on the next video. See ya.